Yo. Um, so this is the setup that I think I can get somewhat close to kind of replicating the sound of stuff that you're doing. So I'm just using a chorus and a little bit of slapback delay, and on the lead I'm just using like not even that much, tiny little bit of overdrive. Again, not it's more like just a light fuzz, just kind of more to simulate a tape sound than anything. Just because I am using a DAW, so yeah. And then I would be using this Boss Super chorus, but I think this chorus it's a little cheaper, but it has a little crispier sound to it. Um, and then using a Mustang, kind of a parts guitar Mustang. But I know that in a live version, you of course use a Mustang, and I think Mustangs are way too underloved. I think that they're a lot cooler than a lot of people say they are. I don't care if they're a student guitar. Don't let this fool you, alright? I hate those things. But this is actually a keyboard that I made. And I just in the background, I'm going to do just really light kind of pad, not quite even a pad, but more like a synth. Kind of like The Way You'd Love Her by Mac DeMarco, kind of how it has this kind of slight little pad in the background that you wouldn't necessarily notice otherwise. And then I'm going to overdub that behind that with the Clavinova, just kind of filling it all out the best I can. So, you know. Now for some of the lead parts, I was kind of trying to switch. I was really gambling between Dan Electro DC59 and homemade 335 that I have. I'm still not entirely sure. So that one I'm actually going to leave up to you. Right now I just recorded it on the Mustang just because that's also what I had at the time. So, you know. But, yeah, so I did it on the Mustang. And then I might go back over with the DC59 or 335. So, you know, let me know if you watch it or something, you know. I was really gambling here with if I should use my 12 string or not, just because I don't know, I just love to use my 12 string whenever I can, and but not in the way that you'd think. Here, actually, really quick side tangent. So I use this little Seymour Duncan Woody sound hole pickup, which usually I wouldn't use when it comes to trying to capture the real acoustics of it, but it kind of turns it more into a semi-hollow electric 12-string. Of course, the strings and stuff obviously aren't. Of course, it's not an actual semi-hollow, but you can kind of treat it like it. I'll just give it a little quick demo. So I'm sorry. So I'm actually running it through the same chain as the Mustang. So, you know, chorus, tiny bit of overdrive, a little bit of slapback delay. And the side tangent continues. It's bedtime where I live, as you can tell. Change my clothes. But now, put the pickup in there. Make my EQ little mid-scoop to my amp. And you might recognize this. I think it's kind of cool, but you know. Gee, anywho, back to the little bit here. Yeah, you hear that whole lot more because of this. This sucker's pretty conductive, let's just say. All right, this is just what I heard. All right, this is, and I know you said it wouldn't be critical. I don't expect you to just be an absolute jerk. You know, you seem like a pretty normal person, but from the lead perspective, and this was before I watched your little live stream there, so from what it looked like, you were doing something different. I'm just doing A position triads. So I don't know. We'll see, but. And for the rhythm, I'm not playing this with a capo. I'm not even kidding you. I didn't even notice that you were playing it with a capo until I saw you playing it with the nylon, which I feel foolish because I feel like that was pretty obvious now looking back at the video. But baby, where have you been? Except for on my mind. What am I left to do now? Baby, where have you been? You know, and the drums. I am poor and do not own a drum kit, so I hate to offend you and your delicious real drums, but I did in fact use MIDI drums. You know, it's all right. Just more of a vibe thing than it was any real precise bit. The bass line, my bass is currently half taken apart right now. I already recorded the bass line for it, so we're going to leave it at that. Yeah, I'm repainting it like a Daphne blue as opposed to a sunburst. I have a lot of sunburst instruments. Here's one of them right here, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna upload the actual video separately. So that's just kind of my notes on it, I guess, is like the effects seem like that's what I could get. I was gonna use a flanger, but I didn't. So let me know if you did do that. I have no idea. Even if you did, I still might even end up keeping it to the watery old delicious chorus. But anyways, see you, bro. Baby, where have you been? Except for on my